All right, so today's lunch choice is Chick-fil-A here with Jared. We've been brainstorming some ideas of what we're going to change in 2025. Just going to take you all along, kind of what we do on a content day at the gym. We're going to be doing what it's like to be owning a gym in 2025, including tips and tricks, and also the finances of maybe if you do or don't want to own a gym. One thing that we're going to talk about is cleaning and maintenance of a gym. It just seems like there's a lot of it all the time, especially depending on the size of the gym. Could be more or less. Specifically here, we're a 30,000 square foot gym, so we have basically cleaning every single day. We get it deep cleaned twice a week and then routine maintenance throughout the week. So obviously there's a lot of upfront costs with that, but it's really a key if you want to keep the place looking well and really have a lot of longevity in the business. When it comes to overall maintenance of a gym, obviously you have a lot of equipment and it's constantly breaking, things are wearing out. So, as far as replacing belts, replacing attachments, cable snapping all the time, you want to stay on top of those things. You don't want to have a sign out of order for too long. A lot of things that you have to order, but it's important to kind of keep your eye out and watch for things that looks like they're starting to fray, or keep your eye out for like people talking about if things are sticking more and they're not as smooth, because that's usually a good sign that it's going to go out soon. Kind of go along with the maintenance, a little bit more preventative would be keeping the environment more clean, keeping everything good and oiled up with WD-40 or whatever you have can help it last longer. One thing that I've noticed is cardio equipment is probably your biggest reinvestment. It just costs a lot of money whenever a panel goes out, whenever a belt goes bad, a motor goes bad. This is, thousands of dollars that would cost to replace. I would say that and the cables are the two things that go out the most. So it's probably always a good idea to have some spare if you have some extra change in the bank. And it's a good idea to have, a spare motor laying around, a couple spare attachments, belts, cables, whatever you have to kind of give you a quicker turnaround for if something does go out, it's not keeping your members as long without it. Obviously, if you buy a lot of equipment up front, that will last you, but you want to keep things fresh. You want to keep new things coming in and out, even if it's just smaller things. So like for us specifically, we just got a bunch of new equipment in 2022, which is still fine, but periodically we're still reinvesting, even if it's just little things, if it's just attachments, medicine balls, anything like that. You want to keep things new, keep things fresh, and in the long run, the members will really appreciate it. Another important topic when it comes to owning a gym or really any business is just marketing. Our focus here has always been on social media. I think it's important that you got to dial in, who your audience is. And for us, it's always been, anywhere from, 18-year-olds to late 30s, early 40s. That's just a group of people that is really, social media active. I've kind of taken that and ran with that thought in mind. We have a professional photographer and videographer that comes in monthly that we do content day that I will post on the Instagram, the Facebook, what have you. Really, it's just, coming up with the ideas beforehand. What are we going to talk about this month? What are we going to try to market this month? And, just getting that content out there for people to see. It's not absolutely necessary if you don't have the budget for it. If you do, I think it's important to build it in there because, it's just going to make everything look so much better. It's going to make things look more professional. It's going to look like that, there's just an overall better look for the gym or for the business itself. To me, I think there's a good balance between quantity and quality. I've kind of always leaned more into the quality aspect. I know a lot of people out there would probably say, you need to be posting every single day. You need to be posting every other day. I'm kind of like a good balance in between. I try to post anywhere between 3 and 5 times a week, but every single one of those posts are, high quality photos, high quality videos, and, the grid matches up well. You're using the same, editing techniques for the coloration of the videos, the same filter. So whenever somebody clicks on the Instagram, it has that same cohesive look. Once again, not something that's completely necessary, but I think it's something that can really take you to the next level. Another extension with marketing would be Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, things of that nature. I rarely do those things. Every once in a while, I'll boost a reel or I'll boost a photo, depending on the time of the year that it is. And, it does get a lot of traction. It gets a lot of views and stuff like that. But I don't think it's one of those things that you have to build into your monthly marketing portfolio. But yeah, just, you can really play around with marketing on your own. Do more, do less, kind of feel like, find a comfortable in between for what's best for you. If you decide that you're going to be 24 hours, this doesn't really pertain to you. But if your gym is going to be staffed, I would think about like trying to hire your employees based on what your specific needs are. If you're going to have a shift that's going to be more like dedicated towards cleaning, then have that in mind. If you're going to have a shift that is dedicated more to like a more busy time where you might have more memberships, keep that in mind as well. Moral of the story is be as diverse as you can to cater towards all different types of people, different ages, different genders, just anything that you can do to try to expand your range and hopefully generate as many members as you can. So let's talk numbers. I know that's probably a big reason why you might have clicked on this video. There really is no like black and white for sure what you're gonna do. Just because you charge say $20 a month and you have 1,000 members, okay, most people will think, okay, that means I'm gonna make $20,000 a month. Well, not exactly. Let's talk about a little bit of what goes in to your actual like fixed costs and what all is involved. Depending on the size of your facility, it can fluctuate. But utilities is a big part of our expense here. Just because the building is so big, it takes a lot of energy to keep the lights on, to air condition it, to keep it heated whenever the winter months are rolling around. But you got to factor in utilities that would take in, from the top end. A sleeper that a lot of people don't think about is insurance, property taxes. Those are always going to come off your top line. Like I talked about earlier in the car, your gym might be 24 hours and you just kind of want it to be not really have anybody staffed, but that's not really how we operate here. Gotta, try to budget that in to like what your actual like profits are on a monthly. And then obviously there's like those, times that your unexpected things that come out. Everything's going fine and then all of a sudden a toilet breaks, or everything's going fine and all of a sudden the treadmill just like dies out on you and you're having to reinvest into that. One thing that I would recommend to anybody really is to try to find a good maintenance person on the gym equipment specifically. We have somebody that comes in quarterly, checks everything, tests everything, makes sure everything is like properly lubricated. It's more of like a preventative thing, so it's gonna help you, save you some money in the long run, hopefully make your stuff last a little bit longer. So I would look into finding you someone like that. On the positive end, things that will generate the most revenue is obviously going to be your memberships in general. We have several different types of memberships here. Monthly, couple monthly, yearly, couple yearly. Majority of our people are monthly, and I would bet that the majority of your people will be monthly. It's just the way people like to do things. They would rather, be able to quit anytime, and instead of investing in more upfront for a longer period of time, which I understand. But yeah, your main revenue generator is obviously going to be your members. Along with that, you have, your apparel, you have your, protein shakes, accessory type stuff that you might sell at the gym. And that makes up like a really small portion of it, but like it's supplemental. The way I always have kind of looked at it is if you sell $500 worth of, drinks and protein shakes a month, like that's nothing crazy, but it's definitely going to like help balance something out. So that might have been what you would have put aside for your property taxes for that month. So that's just kind of the analogy that I use with it. It's not going to like make you or break you, but it can definitely knock out some of the things that are like those hidden costs you don't think about. I would say to help generate more revenue as a gym owner is you always have to be like doing something new, always doing something fresh, reinvesting into the business, making people see that you care about it still. Because if you don't do anything for years, or you're not investing money into the business, why should they invest into you? So my biggest tip would be to make sure that you're reinvesting back into the business, even if that means that you're taking a little less money for yourself. It'll be worth it in the long run. So the big question is owning a gym in 2025 worth it? Yeah, I think it is. I think that if you set your mind to anything, you can make anything work. I think that you're gonna have to like take certain steps to give yourself a better chance to make it work. I think that if you go into it with like a limited budget, a limited mindset, then it might not be the best thing. I think that if you have the resources that it takes to be different, to really truly like invest and reinvest like what I was talking about before, then I definitely think it could be worth it. Location is really important. I personally don't have the best location, where we're at, but we've made it work. But it would have been so much better had it been a better location, and that's what I'm really striving for the Johnson City location, is to make sure that that location is good so I can have the best of both worlds. And I know in the last video that we promised that we'd talk more about the new gym, and I do want to talk about that a little bit. It seems like at this point that it's never going to happen. Well, sometimes it feels like that for me too, but behind closed doors there has been a lot of progress made. I have building plans, I have exterior concept plans, I have site plans, I have everything that I need whenever the time comes. And I guess the question you might be asking, well, when is that time going to be? Realistically, I'm just waiting for the right time for me financially, waiting for the right time. I've got a lot of things working that could kind of shift the way that I approach this in different ways. So I'm kind of waiting to see how those things play out. But I wanted to make sure that I had solid plans together, and these are complete like custom design plans. I wanted to make sure I had them ready so whenever the time comes I can go. And that's where we're at with it. My goal, if I was going to say a goal for 2025, would be to start this thing obviously in 2025. And once it starts, it'll go fast. It's just there was a lot of pre-planning involved, and I'm just waiting for the right time, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to rush into something. I want it to be perfect. I want it to be the best I can be. I don't want to, for lack of better words, half-ass it. I want it to be, everything that I want it to be. I want to go full in 100%. So I know it seems like it's taken forever, but stay with us, keep believing in us with the situation, and we'll make it happen. But I hope you like more videos like this. We're trying to give a more like different look of vlogs in 2025, giving you all more like insights, trying to reach maybe a broader audience. So but if you have any like ideas about what types of videos that you would like to see, just comment below. And as always, we appreciate you all watching. Make sure you subscribe. Have a good one.